Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, the morning Qso-Vlog test net. If you have a radio you want to check out, we are recording now until noon. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. There's a Whiskey 4 station out there. Whiskey 4 station. Tell you what, why don't you come back and give me about 10 seconds. Tell me about your antenna system, and let me go around the horn and see if I can get a better copy on you, Roger.
QSO, this is Whiskey 4, November Delta Kilo, W4 NDK in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm working with a 40-meter Delta loop right now, up about 35 feet, and engaged to FTDX10 running 95 watts. And I'm down in Charlotte, North Carolina. Over.
Alrighty, sir. That call sign, give me that call sign one more time, slowly, phonetically.
Sure, it's Whiskey 4, November, Delta, Kilo.
November Delta Kilo, Roger, Roger. What's the name there?
My name is Nate, November, Alpha, Tango, Echo.
That's Nate. Is that a Roger? Alrighty, Nate. And what radio are you running this morning?
Yes, I'm running a Yaesu FTDX10, Fox Tango Delta X-Ray 10. Over.
Roger that. Well, you know, what we specialize in is transmitter setups. We have a procedure, if you might be interested. It starts with you verifying that you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth mode, Roger.
Yes, I am in the bandpass filter selection of 100 to 2900 hertz.
Yes, sir. That will enable you to get the best performance out of your radio. Now, you can go to a wider frequency response, but then you have people coming to look for you with pitchforks. So it's good to stop at 2900, and you can get a good EQ curve on 2900 and sound great. Okay, so the next part of our setup is engaging your engaging your processor. I've got notes here at 30 on the processor, Roger.
Okay, I'm at 50 right now. I'll drop it down to 30.
Yes, sir. That's it's a nice range. You'll never really hear it on the air, but it does wonders as we try to get a 3 dB dynamic range, which is our goal in our setup. So processor on at 30. Then move to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio, adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 7, I guess it would be, Roger.
Audio. Okay, it's at 22 now.
Okay, so that's just slightly to the right of mid-scale on your ALC meter?
Yes, it's at 7 now. It was at 9, now it's down to 7.
Good. Because what we want is a very loud but very clean. Then let's move to your let's see. AMC should be at 65. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but it sounds like you are, and it sounds like it is. You're running a 3-band parametric EQ, and you're on the P. Since we have our processor in, you'll be on the P series of EQ controls, and we'll start with your EQ1. Let's see, let me get that here. I have notes. I thought I was going to be able to do these things just by generic I should be able to, but some menus are more complicated than others. So we're on EQ number 1, which is bass. We want to set that on 200 cycles, level -5, 200 cycles, level -5, with a width of 4, Roger.
5 with a width of 4, Roger.
Okay, I'm at 100 with a EQ level of 5 with a width of 1.
Okay, so change those. You want the frequency to be 200 cycles, Roger?
You want the frequency to be 200 cycles, Roger?
Okay, it's at 200.
All right, sir. Then you want the level at -5. I think you said you were at that. And you want a width of 4. Width of 4, Roger.
Width of 4. Width of 4, Roger.
Okay, I'm at a width of 4, -5 for the EQ1 level and 200 hertz.
Roger, Roger. Okay, and let's move to EQ2, which is the mid frequency, and we want that flat or off, whichever comes first, flat or off for EQ2.
First, flat or off for EQ2.
Okay, it's off.
Alrighty, then we move to EQ3, which is treble, and we want a frequency of 2.7. Frequency of 2.7, level +7, width of 4.
+7, width of 4.
Okay, I've got that set now.
Okay, so your frequency is 2.7, Roger.
Okay, so your frequency is 2.7, Roger.
Yes, it is.
+7 and width of 4, Roger.
+7 and width of 4, Roger.
Oh, Roger, Roger.
Alrighty, and then why don't you tell me, Nate, about the thing you like best about your radio in about 15 seconds or so.
Best about your radio in about 15 seconds or so.
Well, I like to be able to adjust the parametric equalizer. I like using the A2MD100 microphone with it, and the receive on this radio is excellent. I like to be able to pull out really like the contour setting. Over.
Roger that. Okay, and I never got to my local antenna. I'd like to get to my local antenna and see what you're doing there. Give me just a little bit more. Tell me about your antenna system one more time, Roger.
Antenna system one more time, Roger.
Yeah, it's a wire, green wire, kind of stealth, about 30 feet up. It's an unusual shaped delta loop. It's not your typical triangular delta loop because I had to deal with the trees that I have and where they are in the yard. And I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. Back to you.
Roger, Nate. Sounds really good, I think. And if you want to hear it, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. And it'll probably be called Test and Today's Date. Test and today's date. What is the date today?
And today's date. What is the date today?
Today is the 19th of May.
Okay, so it'll be called 5/19/23 test, something like that. You'll see it there. This is kind of an extra recording. We usually are on the afternoons, but we're thinking about moving over to mornings. Roger, Roger.
But we're thinking about moving over to mornings. Roger, Roger.
Yeah, QSO. Well, you've always entertained me, and knowledge of radio is excellent. And I like the setup of your studio. I've been watching you for quite a while. KC9VKV, Whiskey 4, November Delta Kilo.
Roger, Nate. Well, like I say, I'm running a cheat sheet now. I'm running a tablet that's got most of the information that I need about let's see here. It's the, let me get it down here. It revolves around Yaesu radios mainly, FT991A, FTDX10, FTDX101D, and FTDX101MP. Those are radios that are fairly complicated because of the flexibility, shall we say, of the controls. And I think they're much too complicated for the average Joe. I think the average Joe wants to talk, and I think there may be too many options there for him to comprehend it. And Nate, remember, if you come out of compression, or I'm sorry, if you come out of your processor, you will go to another EQ bank, which I don't know anything about. So I've EQ'd you for the P series with your processor on, Roger.
For the P series with your processor on, Roger.
Yep, QSL, understand, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the help. I need to turn my monitor on so I can hear myself too, but I've got that pretty much turned down. I'll go over and look at the YouTube. One of the videos I really enjoyed was when you interviewed W4ODT, Mark out of Greensboro. He does the 1010 Legacy Net. And another one I really enjoyed was way back when you did the Mount Mitchell repeater. You've done it a couple of times. The highest repeater on the East Coast, 145190. And by the way, they're having a picnic this Saturday off the Blue Ridge Parkway for the people that talk on that repeater. Over.
Yes, that's one of the greatest repeaters in the country. That altitude, what is that? 6,000 feet or something?
6,000 feet or something?
6,600 is what they say unofficially. 6,600 net is their net that they have on Saturday night, but it's actually taller than that. Over.
Yes, one evening, it was always mornings, I think, pretty much, that I managed to make the trips late evenings, early mornings, and I was lucky enough to talk to the Elvis man that had the vision to establish that repeater, the father of that repeater. He has a deceased, is that correct? He's no longer with us?
No longer with us?
Yes, he's a silent P. He used to check in all the time, and he lived in Landrum, South Carolina, at the base of Tryon Peak, near Hendersonville, North Carolina. Over.
Roger, yeah, that repeater is just beautiful. It's 405 miles from my location, so whenever I had the opportunity to hit it there, I was running some 10-foot antennas there. I forget what the gain was, but pretty high gain at 75 watts, and it was always nice to make it there. I think our record is about 9 times that we have reached Mount Mitchell, Roger.
9 times that we have reached Mount Mitchell, Roger.
Oh yeah, QSL. That's excellent. That's great to hear. They've done a good job of resetting that up 20 years ago when they took it down, and 10 years ago, and now W4DE is working on it. But you have really gotten into that from pretty far away, being in Minnesota, I believe. And I've talked to people from Indianapolis, but I have talked to them simplex from the top of Mount Mitchell. There's a campground and a good tower up there. Over.
Yes, sir. We're around Louisville. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, and so from us to there is 405 miles.
There is 405 miles.
Oh, QSL. Well, that's where I've talked to somebody from up there. I don't think I spoke with you. It was somebody that I spoke with before up there at the parking lot at the top of Mount Mitchell. And I was thinking about going up there and camping this weekend, but when the weather starts to get rainy, the winds will... It's always a pleasure talking to a veteran of the broadcast world, as I started off the broadcast and then kind of moved into sales and technology from there. 73, I'm going to let you pick up someone else to help them, and I'm going to go listen to my YouTube video, if that's okay with you, at KC9VKV W4 ND10.
Roger, Nate. What is your location, sir?
Roger, Nate. What is your location, sir?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yes, sir, Nate, got you there. 73, sir. You have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. And again, if you're familiar with how to get there to YouTube, on a YouTube search, go for KC9VKV logbook, and that will take you. That will take you to this recording, but this recording will be entitled today's date. Wait, give me that date again. This is kind of an impromptu situation here.
Give me that date again. This is kind of an impromptu situation here.
Oh, I understand. It's the 19th of May. And next time I'm at Mount Mitchell or on the repeater, maybe I can make a contact with you. So that would be very enjoyable when we have a band opening. But nice to talk to you, and say 73 from W4 NDK, Nate in Charlotte.
Roger, Nate. This will be called Test 51923. Test 51923 is on the title, so that would be how you would identify this. There will be another one later this afternoon, which will be our normal one, which is our group recording. But this one will be called Test 51923. Roger.
Called Test 51923. Roger.
Oh, Roger. I appreciate the assistance, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
Roger, Nate. 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is a morning version of our Qso-Vlog net. I'm Jim, KC9VKV, and we are experimenting with maybe running our show back into the mornings instead of the afternoons. We'll see how it goes. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo, Oscar for Juliet Tango Bravo.
Juliet Tango Bravo, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Kilo, Oscar for Juliet Tango Bravo.
Roger, Juliet Tango Bravo, and what's the name there?
Roger, Juliet Tango Bravo, and what's the name there?
Steve, Sierra Tango Echo Victor Echo. I talked to you earlier. I'm in Marietta, Georgia. Over.
Roger, Steve. Well, if we can be of use to you, if you have a radio you want to set up, we're at your command. What radio are you running now?
Command, what radio are you running now?
Well, I'm a fairly new operator. I've got a 10-tech Omni 7 radio, and that's going out to a 40-meter half-wave bed dipole out in the trees in my backyard. Over.
Roger, and you're down in Georgia, Roger?
Roger, and you're down in Georgia, Roger?
Roger.
Okay, part of our setup, and it begins with normally making sure that you're in that wide 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, but I think that radio was manufactured prior to radios having the options that they have now, so you're probably on a fixed transmit bandwidth. Is that a Roger?
You're on a fixed transmit bandwidth. Is that a Roger?
Roger, we're a bandwidth of 2500, over.
Yes, sir. Okay, so let's get into our setup. It is compression on at a 3. Compression on at a 3, Roger?
At a 3. Compression on at a 3, Roger?
How do I check that? I don't know where to look for that.
Okay, do you know how to bring your processor compressor on? Do you know how to do that?
Compressor on? Do you know how to do that?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay, that's this aspect of it is so light that it really doesn't make that big a deal. So we can bypass that. But the next one is fairly critical, and that's setting your audio mic level, your transmit level correctly, and that involves your ALC meter and your mic gain. And normally we say with mic gain in hand, go to your ALC meter, and as you say the word audio, adjust your ALC meter for 2/3 by way of mic gain control. Roger?
For 2/3 by way of mic gain control. Roger?
Roger. That's about right.
Already, and that radio probably, does that radio have EQ?
Already, and that radio probably, does that radio have EQ?
Say again?
Does your radio, let's see, what was that? That was the Omni 2, is that right? Omni 2, is that a Roger?
2, is that right? Omni 2, is that a Roger?
Sorry, we doubled. What was your radio again?
Sorry, we doubled. What was your radio again?
It was 10-TAC, Omni 7, over.
Omni 7, Roger, Roger. Does it have EQ, do you know?
Omni 7, Roger, Roger. Does it have EQ, do you know?
That would be equalization, an equalization page, or way to adjust the frequency response, tailor the frequency response of the transmitter through equalization.
Tailor the frequency response of the transmitter through equalization.
I'm not sure. I've got the FCT adjustment that I can make.
I don't think that's it. This would be probably equalization, your transmit equalization. It would give you like a 3-band EQ, a bass, mid-range treble. Roger, Roger.
A bass, mid-range treble. Roger, Roger.
Roger, I'm looking through the menu, over.
Roger, Roger. Well, tell you what, let me just give you a note there. When you find it, crank in about 3 clicks additional treble EQ. On the treble side, 3 clicks additional treble EQ from where you are. Roger?
3 clicks additional treble EQ from where you are. Roger?
Understand. 3 clicks as soon as I find it, over.
Yes, sir. That will increase your brightness, and brightness is intelligibility, and the whole idea is that you will be understood. You will not be just heard, but you will be understood. The more intelligible you become, and intelligibility is mainly associated with the treble frequency response. Upper, 2.7K is the ideal frequency, but I'm sure you don't have a parametric on that radio, so it would be probably just your treble EQ increasing it that amount. Roger.
Treble EQ increasing it that amount. Roger.
Roger. I don't see that listed in the over.
Yes, sir. Well, there's another way. There's an old way of setting EQ that doesn't involve electronics, and that is based around the thing called proximity effect. Proximity effect says that the closer you work a microphone, the more build-up the bass frequencies become. So when you get to within an inch of the microphone, your bass response is really up the wall. So inversely, if you back off the mic, say 4 inches or so, your bass frequency falls off, and your top end then becomes more predominant. Roger?
Becomes more predominant. Roger?
I'm sorry, Nate, I think we may have doubled again. I was just talking about proximity effect, which is a manual way of EQing your audio system, since you don't have an electronic equalization system. If you were to pull off mic about 4 inches or so, or at least 3 inches further back than what you are, your top end will have more influence over your audio curve than bass, because proximity effect says that the closer you work a microphone, the more bass you have. So if you pull back about 3 inches, additional 3 inches from where you are, then you will be emphasizing more the top end than the bass. Roger?
Then you will be emphasizing more the top end than the bass. Roger?
Okay, I'm about to lose you there, Steve, but if you do pull back there and take advantage of that mechanical, shall we say, equalization capability, you'll need to go back and reset your ALC level, because obviously there's another rule that says the further away from the microphone you are, your volume will drop. So if you're back 3 additional inches from where you were, then you'll have to go back and reset your ALC at the new position. Roger, Roger.
ALC at the new position. Roger, Roger.
Roger, understood, over.
Roger, Stephen, you're coming back on board as far as signal strength, so why don't you tell me the best thing you like about your radio there in about 10 seconds, see if I can get a good recording on you.
Best thing you like about your radio there in about 10 seconds, see if I can get a good recording on you.
The best thing, like I said, I'm a new operator. I'm a general. It's my first radio, and it's fairly simple to operate. Feature on it, but again, I'm not experienced enough to know how to set it up optimally, and the manual doesn't really give you a lot of good direction. Over.
Roger that, Steve. Alrighty, well, let's see. Gosh, if you want to hear your radio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you in the vicinity of this recording. This recording will be called Test 5/19/23. There'll be another one in the 23 date, but it'll be the one that we do this afternoon probably. So this one would be called Test, and you can get there by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, and then right in that area will be the test, this recording. Roger, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow.
Test this recording. Roger, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow.
Roger, I really appreciate it, Jim, and I know I haven't been very helpful in making the changes you want. I'm just not so familiar with the radio, and first thing I've seen is what 10 text language might be. So I understand test 51923. Over.
Yes, sir. Roger. And I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So 73 there, Steve, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. Thanks for dropping by on our morning test of the Qso-Vlog net. This is Jim, better known in some circles as Dr. VKV. Usually we're on in the afternoon, and we will be this afternoon from 3 to 3:30 till 5, but we're looking around and thinking about maybe moving up to mornings and see how that goes. Anyway, this is the Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Net, if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
WD4 ART, Whiskey Delta 4 Alpha Romeo Tango.
ART station, come back one more time for your call sign, slowly phonetically.
Come back one more time for your call sign, slowly phonetically.
Whiskey Delta 4 Alpha Romeo Tango. Whiskey Delta number 4 America Radio Tokyo.
Roger, Roger, ART, and Alpha Romeo Tango. What's the name there?
ART. And Alpha Romeo Tango, what's the name there?
Name here is Art, Alpha Romeo Tango. Kind of clever, huh? But I just ran across your conversation with Jim with the last two, and I thought this is a great service. Over.
Yes, sir. That's what we have been doing for 5 years. We started in the mornings, and then we went to the afternoons, and now we're thinking about maybe going back to mornings, you know, and working a new crew, so to speak. Art, what's your location, sir?
Crew, so to speak. Art, what's your location, sir?
My location is Alpharetta, Georgia, which is about 35 miles north of the center of Atlanta, Georgia, kind of at the foot of the North Georgia Mountains. Over.
Yes, sir, and I'm on the Georgia SDR, and you're about 20 over, so I have a beautiful signal on you. And Art, what radio are you running this morning?
Beautiful signal on you. And Art, what radio are you running this morning? I am running a ICOM 7300 that I've had for about a year or two, and I fade in and out of its understanding of its menus, and I've got it set at this particular way, and I thought I'd see how I sounded to you. Over.
Sounds really good, really good. Just a brief overview of our setup, see how you stack up. We usually suggest being in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth.
Being in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Stand by, please. Okay, under functions, I have a button that says transmit bandwidth, and it's on wide. Repeat wide, over.
Yes, sir. That's on the 7300. That is 100 to 2900. So then move to your compressor. Compression on at a 3, a token amount, something you'll really never hear on the air, but it helps you and us arrive at that 3 dB dynamic range at the end of our setup. Roger.
At 3 dB dynamic range at the end of our setup. Roger. Copy that. I'm on compression right now. It is currently set to 5. Next transmission will be set to 3. Stand by. Over.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so once we get that compressor on a 3, then let's move to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio, adjust your mic gain until your ALC is running 2/3.
Until your ALC is running 2/3. Copy that. Transmitting now and adjusting my mic gain at the same time. I'm down to about 27, 26%, 22%. I'm down to 18%, and right about there, I'm going to go down a bit further, 10, 12, 10%. I've got it set, and now it's peaking at around 2/3. Over.
Roger. It's a lot simpler just to use the word audio, and you become a human test tone generator, and very, very precise. Audio, and then adjust your mic gain for 2/3 on your ALC meter.
And then adjust your mic gain for 2/3 on your ALC meter. Copy that. I was too excited.
Did you make it there?
Did you make it there? I did. I'm at 16%, and that with a 2/3 CALC. Over.
Okay, and you know, we developed that. I spent a lot of time looking for the right word to be able to do that. You know, we used to say speak quickly, and adjust your mic gain for mid-scale 2/3, but this way, with that word, you can set it right on 2/3. Roger, did you see how easy that was?
And set it right on 2/3. Roger, did you see how easy that was? Oh, Jim, indeed I did. That was awesome, and it's interesting that my mic gain is about 35 points different than what it was when we first started our conversation. Over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What we're looking for is a 3 dB dynamic range, and that occurs at the 2/3 level on your ALC meter. Pretty much. I mean, it's very ballpark. All right, let's move to transmit sideband EQ. Roger.
Let's move to transmit sideband EQ. Roger. Roger that. I'll have to find that. Any hint as to where it is in the menus? Over.
Yes, sir. It's settings, and then you have your TBW, and then if you press on, the next thing would be transmit, and then sideband, and then EQ. Roger.
Sideband, and then EQ. Roger. Okay, please stand by. Jim, are we looking for tone control? Over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, you see, everybody, I hear I sit there and praise ICOM for being so swift. And, tone control is just another word for equalization. But I guess every manufacturer has their own, quirks as far as what they call things, anyway, yes, tone control.
Yes, tone control. Copy that. So just so you know, it was in the menu under tone control and then transmit. And now I have some choices, SSB, SSB-D, AM and FM. But I should let you know at this point that my microphone is going into a mixer, which has EQ control as well. So how would you like to proceed with that? Should I zero the mixer out and use it here, or keep this zero and change it on the mixer? Over.
Well, I'm listening to you by ear, and I'm looking at your signal on a spectrum analyzer, so you can just leave the mixer in if you're, that's your preference. I would do that since we've already set our ALC level with the mixer, I assume, at this point. Roger?
C level with the mixer, I assume, at this point. Roger? That is correct.
Okay, so let's just leave the mixer in, and you're on your EQ. And now, ICOM has a very simple EQ. It's a two-band EQ, bass and treble. So what I want to do is go to your treble EQ, and I'm going to go +4 from where you, +4, let me put it that way, +4 on your treble EQ, Roger?
+4, let me put it that way, +4 on your treble EQ, Roger? That is Roger. I've changed it. It is now +4 on the treble EQ. +4 on the treble EQ. Nothing else has changed. Over.
Excellent. Now, what's your reading on your bass EQ?
Excellent. Now, what's your reading on your bass EQ? Bass EQ is at 0. Repeat 0. Over.
All right. Let's bring the bass EQ up to +2 from where it is. +2. +2 bass EQ. Roger? 2 clicks from where it is up.
+2 bass EQ, Roger. 2 clicks from where it is up. Copy 2. +2 on the bass. Bass is adjusted now to +2. Over.
Alrighty, Art, what I'd like now is for you to maybe give me 15 seconds or so and tell me about your antenna system so I can hear you, Roger.
Tell me about your antenna system so I can hear you, Roger. Copy that, Jim. I just confirmed that my TVW wide is set for 100 to 2900. 100 to 2900. Is that correct? Over.
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Yes, sir. That is correct. Okay, perfect. I will start the requested explanation of my setup. So I've got a 7300 connected to sort of semi-inverted. It's into the trees in my backyard. It's cut for 40 meters, and it's going into a LDG antenna tuner that is connected directly to my radio. Everything is grounded with its own ground rod, and it seems to be oriented northeast or northwest, southeast in terms of who I receive regularly, and I seem to get west very well with my audio. Actually, I call it the miracle where I talk to Australia. Sunday, where I talk to Australia with voice SSB on, I think it was 20 meters. Over.
Yes, sir. Come up one more click, bass boost. One more click, bass boost. I've got a little copy on you on my local antenna, which I'm running a 7300, which is down to 100 cycles, and so I can hear your signal very well. So plus 1 click additional from where you are.
Your signal very well. So
on a bass EQ.
1 click additional from where you are. On a bass EQ. 2. Transmit bass EQ is now +3. Over.
Just a little bit more so I hear you a little bit better.
Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. We, the people of the United States, in order to perform a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure tranquility, and I've forgotten the rest of it from the 3rd grade. Ensure tranquility, and I've forgotten the rest of it from the 3rd grade. I could probably practice. Over.
Yes, sir, Art. Sounds good. I think if you want to hear it, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, and this will be called Test 51923. Test 51923 or something in those words. Test will be in the title, Roger.
3 or something in those words. Test will be in the title, Roger. Copy Test 51923 on the logbook KC9 for Victor Kilo Victor logbook. I've actually got it up on my computer now, and I can see what you've done in the past. That's awesome, over.
Yes, sir. This will be cut 1 or 2 of 2600 Qso-Vlog aircheck recordings. It'll be cut number 1 or 2. It depends. I'm not real sure right now, but it'll be right there in front somewhere. And on just a word of explanation, on the set I have a spectrum analyzer, and the spectrum analyzer has a white mark on the left side, which denotes 100 cycles. It has 2 white marks on the right side. The first white mark is 1 kc. The second, there's a blank space, which is 2 kc, and the second white mark is 4 kc. So as you look on the set at the spectrum analyzer, you'll know what those are, Roger.
On the set at the spectrum analyzer, you'll know what those are, Roger. Roger that. That's very cool. I really do appreciate it. Jim, could I ask you one last thing? Is it if I were to zero out my EQ on my mixer, like should I have started this whole process with my mixer zeroed out and then make the adjustments on the radio? Question mark, over.
Well, I would suggest just leaving your mixer in. I mean, obviously you have a proclivity for running the mixer, so I would just leave it in, If you take it out, then we're going to have to, it's a new ball game.
No, if you take it out, then we're going to have to, it's a new ball game. Roger that. I have EQ controls in 2 places, which seems a little wonky to me. So I think I would rather have one of them at unity and then just do the adjustments with the other. But I will leave it like this for the time being, and maybe I'll log on at another time and we can do this again. Over.
Roger, Art. You are set up for perfection, though. No need to change. You are absolute perfect, Roger.
You are absolute perfect, Roger. Roger. Thank you, Jim. I really appreciate it, and I'll look forward to seeing the video tomorrow when you upload it. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate the help. I'm a relatively new ham, had my general for about a year and a half, 2 years now, and really enjoy HF. So thank you so much for your elmership, and I'll say good day, 7-3s, and best to you. KC9VKV, Delta 4 ART, Whiskey Delta 4 Alpha Romeo Tango. There are your finals.
Roger, Art, 73 there, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. I'm not sure whether we'll be running morning or afternoon, but and what frequency. Usually we're on afternoons on 7188. Today we were doing an experiment test on 7184 in the morning time, just to see how mornings work. But we'll be either on 84 or 88. 73 there, and we'll catch you later. This is the Friday, morning experiment test, if you will, of KC9VKV. And if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Yeah, and if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
MXT station, come back slowly with your call sign.
T station, come back slowly with your call sign. Roger, it's KJ4 MXT, over.
KJ4 MXT, Roger. And what's the name there?
MXT, Roger. And what's the name there? John, sir.
Roger, John, and whereabouts are you located, sir? Roger, John, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
Bring it back.
I didn't copy that. One more time, please. I didn't copy that. One more time, please.
Name is Jack. John, J-O-H-N, sir.
Yes, sir, John, I've got that. I'm looking for your location. What's your location, sir? Yes, sir, John, I've got that. I'm looking for your location. What's your location, sir? I don't have the greatest copy on you, John. Try one more time. A little slower, please. Roger? I'm a little slower, please. Roger? John, I don't know if we're going to be able to communicate or not. I can't quite pull you out there. You're right at my noise, just a little bit above my noise level this morning. I was trying to figure out where you were, so I might be able to try to use one of my SDR receivers to get a little closer to you to get a better signal, Roger? Get a better signal, Roger?
I didn't know. I'm just running a barefoot radio. 100 watt power is all we have, right?
Yes, sir, John. I'm getting you best on my Georgia SDR. What is your location, sir? Best on my Georgia SDR. What is your location, sir?
Well, I'm in St. Louis, Missouri, if you know where that is.
Missouri, Roger. I got you there, John. And what radio are you running this morning? I got you there, John. And what radio are you running this morning?
I'm running an old 45-year-old Atlas 215-inch. Over. First solid space came out.
Roger, I still don't have a good copy on you, John. If you're interested in our setup, let me give you some notes, if you could, and then plug them in at your leisure later on. If you have a compressor, it is compression on at a 3. That's a processor compressor, same thing, on at a 3. That's the first thing. Compressor processor on at a 3. Then move to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand, and as you say the word audio, set your ALC meter to 2/3 by way of mic gain control. So that's on your ALC meter. This is setting your transmit level. Watching your ALC meter with mic gain in hand, and as you say the word audio, adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running at 2/3. Roger? Until your ALC meter is running at 2/3. Roger?
Roger on that. We turned that mic gain down a little bit. We haven't heard anything.
Alrighty, and I'm not sure if that radio has an equalizer in it. Does that radio have an built-in equalizer? Does that radio have an built-in equalizer?
We're running a 60-foot dipole in down.
I just couldn't copy that. Again, do you have a built-in equalizer on your radio there? Again, do you have a built-in equalizer on your radio there?
It has a built-in, yes.
All right. Another note then. We want to go plus 3 clicks additional treble EQ from where you are. 3 clicks additional treble EQ from where you are. Roger? Treble EQ from where you are. Roger?
Roger on that. I'm tuning in, so we want to try to get more right here a little bit there. So I appreciate you coming back to me there, and you're sounding pretty good yourself there. Looks like about an 8. And have a good day. 73, KA4, MHD, be clear, and stand up.
Roger, Roger, sir. And if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording, and this recording will be called, let's see, 51923 test. 51923 test in the title. That's how you will know this recording. 51923 in test. Roger, Roger.
51923 in test. Roger, Roger.
All right, sir, 73, sir, and thanks for dropping by. This is kind of an experiment. We usually are on in the afternoons, but we're trying to see how mornings go. We might be shifting the show to morning. So 73 to you. Have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, and the Friday, at this point, morning, Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If there's a station Bravo, I think it was, I've got you on my local antenna, barely, but come back with a call sign slowly, phonetically.
Yes, this is Whiskey 5 Kilo Echo Bravo.
Kilo Echo Bravo, Roger, Roger, and what's the name there?
My name is Jeremy here in Jonesboro, Arkansas. I just want to get in here and tell you you're sounding good here in Arkansas, and I guess not many people around the band this morning, but you're sounding good here in Arkansas.
Roger, Roger, Jeremy, Roger, and what radio are you running this morning, Jeremy?
I am running ICOM 7300.
Roger, Roger. Well, if you'd be interested in our setup, it starts with you making sure you're in that wide transmit bandwidth, 100 to 2900. Roger.
Yes, sir. It's already in the wide.
Alrighty, then to your compressor on at a 3. Compression on at a 3 to begin our setup. Alrighty, well, we have a setup procedure, and it starts with that compression on at a 3, and then we move to the ALC. The thing is, there's 1,000 different ways of setting up a radio, and I was always taught that you do all of your equipment setup before you set a modulation level. Setting the modulation level is the last thing you do, and so I would say that compression on at a 3 would be the next step. Roger.
Okay, well it's in a 1 right now, and I'm right at the end to my ALC at the moment, but I can try to put it on 3. I played around with this microphone and different gains and levels and everything.
Roger, Roger. So compression on at a 3. Then we move to our ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio, stretch out that first word audio, you become a human test generator, and adjust your microphone, internal microphone level until your ALC meter is showing 2/3. Adjust your mic level to reflect 2/3 on your ALC meter. Roger?
Okay, audio, adjustment to 2/3.
Alrighty, and then we'll move to our ALC. I'm sorry, we'll move to our EQ. tone control. Let me talk in the proper vernacular of the radio. Tone control page, and we want to add 3 clicks treble EQ from where you are, plus 3 clicks treble EQ from where you are. Roger? Roger, if there's a problem with that, just take notes, and then you can crank that in at a later time. And it'll be 3 clicks additional EQ push on the treble side when you find out where that is. Plus 3 clicks treble EQ from where you are. Plus 3 clicks treble EQ push from where you are. Roger? Gosh, I've gone around the horn to, I have a chevron on the right-hand side of my screen, right-hand side of the screen that shows you where I am as I go select the audio inputs. I've got 4 internet SDRs plus my local, and I'm on my local receiver 7300, and I just barely have a copy on you, but that last instruction was, that last note was plus 3 clicks treble EQ additional from where you are. Roger?
Okay, and my last transmission, I don't know if you can hear me now. I turned up the gain real quick. The ICOM 7300 goes plus 5 on the treble, and that's where it's sitting at, plus 5 on the treble. Can I go up any more on the treble, over?
No, plus 5 is it for the 7300 on treble. Why don't you back off your bass minus 2? Back off the bass minus 2 and let me listen to you. So, you know, when you run out of steam going on treble, then you go back to your bass and start rolling off your bass. So you're plus 5 on your treble, go to minus 2 on your bass. Roger?
Well, I went to minus 3 on the bass because I was at minus 1, so I went to minus 3 right there at the bass.
Oh, sounds good. I think that's much better. You're much more intelligible. You know, what happens a lot of times is sometimes Mother Nature pulls cruel jokes, and she bends back part of the signal at one time in space, and then a little bit later she bends back the other half. And then when it comes down to the receiver, it has a good chance of being out of phase. And what happens is when some signal comes back out of phase with the other signal, they start to cancel each other out. And that cancellation starts with the high frequencies and works its way down, you know, to the lower frequencies. So the first thing you lose is the intelligibility. So if you're running a bunch of bass, you suddenly become Mr. Bassman. So I like the curve that you're running right now, Roger.
Okay, yeah, real good. Yeah, and I had to, a while ago you said you couldn't hear me, the mic gain, I had to bring it back up. It's more on my ALC now, but it's not out of the range, but I think it brought my peak up a little bit there, so yeah, I'll leave it right here for a while and see what people think on that there, over.
Yes, so that's right. When push comes to shove, sometimes you have to kick things in the tail end and do what you wouldn't normally do, you know. But under good circumstances, you want to set your ALC at 2/3 by saying audio and adjusting your mic to where your ALC is reading 2/3. But I understand, and yes, it does make a difference, and I can hear you now. Thank you.
Hey, no problem. I appreciate it. I heard you calling around different places. Want to get in here and say hello to you. I think the last time, I don't remember what radio I was on last time. I go through many of them.
Roger, roger, sir. This recording, you can reach it by going to YouTube, doing a call letter search for KC9VKV logbook, and then in the title, that'll bring up our Qso-Vlog logbook, and this will be cut 1 or 2 of 2,600 Qso-Vlog aircheck recordings, but it'll be right at the top, right? It'll either be number 1 or number 2 when you search KC9VKV logbook on a YouTube search, and we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Okay, sounds good, Jim, and we'll let you stand. Well, and you have a good day, and we'll look forward to talking to you again. This is Whiskey 5 Kilo Echo Bravo 73.
Roger, roger, sir, 73. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is the Friday morning test, Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to look for us to listen to, give me a shout. Well, I think we're going to back out of here. We appreciate everybody that participated. And for those that did want to hear the audio, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. Look for the title of, let's see, what is that? 5/19/23 test. The word test will be in the title, so you can find it that way. It'll either be cut number 1 or cut number 2 in that series of 2,600 Qso-Vlog aircheck recordings, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. In the meantime, I see by the clock on the wall a dead fly. Ooh, so we got to get out of here. And return this frequency back to normal amateur radio use. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, clear.